Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Beards of War event in which Lord Ironbeard and Apothecary have been added to the game. So let's get into that. First off, we of course have the Epic. He's an Epic, which means there'll be 2 Arcane Stones per every single one that you buy, which is really good because there are a lot of yellow-blue in this game. Probably one of the most used color combinations actually in this game right now, so that will definitely be useful to buy a bunch of him for that. As far as his ability goes, it's pretty interesting because if it's the first troop ever that could actually be beneficial if you keep it a little bit lower on ascension and leveling. It deals triple damage whenever the enemy has higher attack than him, but he has a fairly high base attack, so for the most part, unless you're like a lower level fighting a higher level, you won't really get it too much. But it is really good for lower level players because you'll pretty much always get the triple damage. Other than that, he has some pretty good traits. He has the standard HP, which will help out dwarves. Monster Slayer, this will be particularly good against things like Emperor Corvash and the Great Maul and other things that are Manicore and stuff that's pretty popular right now. So he'll be able to counter that. Plus he has Stone Skin, so most of those also do good skull damage, so he'll be able to reduce that down to pretty much nothing. Overall, a really powerful troop, and only 12 mana to cast that as well. If you could actually get this triggered, mine would be doing 60 damage, which is quite a bit of damage. And now, I have no clue how you actually say her name. I might just call her Apothecary, or Appo for sure. Well, Appo is the... finally has the transform any mana color to brown, so now every single transform is in the game. All 6 of the gem colors plus skulls are now in the game. The addition that she does onto it, like all the other ones, it has something that it does. She cleanses all. So out of the 7, she's the only one that can actually cast and then make sure she gets an extra turn if she's frozen or something like that, or the brown is frozen, I mean. So pretty interesting that she has cleanse all. She also has the same mana cost as Mercy. So she's basically the early version of Mercy if you're using something like a Gorgotha or a Great Maul or something else that is brown, yellow of the like. Because she doesn't have Empowered, but if you're a lower level, you probably don't have Empowered on Mercy either. So earlier in the game, she'd be much better than Mercy. Later on, I'm pretty sure everyone's just going to be sticking with Mercy over Appo. But still pretty good. She has a little bit of a gold bonus as well, which you won't be using much. As far as traits, they're actually pretty bad. You don't even need that last trait. It'll just be a waste of swamps compared to all the better things that use swamps. It'll only give her like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, or 3 HP anyways, since she can't even get it off herself. And poison to immunity, or immunity to poison isn't really going to do much, especially since she already cleanses. Doesn't need another immune. But as far as that, definitely get it up to Merchant if you want to use her a lot. Maybe use her with Alchemist and stuff too. Definitely want to use her with Valkyrie as well, since you can just keep getting 2 different troops that have the convert, kind of like what you do with Valkyrie and Giant Spider, you could kind of do with Appo. So, let's give out the redeem code real quick. V1, FVH8, VC1F, and of course that gives us a regular reward of 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. So, let's go over the troops, and let's see. There's 2 things I want to do here real quick. Of course, not Kroth, what am I doing? Khaziel. Khaziel now has 12 troops. The first kingdom ever to have 12 troops, so I'm going to do a brief kingdom overview real quick. Blast Cannon pretty much completely fell out of the meta. Traits are kind of okay. There's not really any good mechs right now. It just deals damage to a random enemy and then silences whatever it hits, and for the most part silence isn't that good as it used to be. Bombardier, definitely slightly better. It has the board control, able to explode a gem, some damage to a random enemy, and it can get that burn chance off. It is really, really good in Arena. Out of Arena, not so much though. Especially since he can't usually use his Pyromania because its burn hits a random enemy. And the chances that if this was the only burn on your entire team, the chances he would actually burn the first enemy, you would have to do a 30% chance every time you cast. And then you only have likely a 25% chance that it'll hit the first enemy. Of course, the more you kill, it'll go up. But Deep Borer previously was the best brown spawner in the game. Now that would probably go to Appo. But he destroys a column and then creates 9 brown gems. Since he destroys that column, that means there's less board for the brown gems to spawn in, making it a lot easier to spawn. And he gains a bunch of armor on top of that. And as far as traits, the only really good one is Water Link. Normally you have him more towards the back to the point that you won't really use armor that much on it. Dwarven Lord has a pretty high base damage. Pretty good early on in the game, falls off after like level 100 or so. But the same thing as Appo, you could use it with both of them and get the double merchant bonus. Other than that, he does have a static 8 armor gain, which is one of the reasons why he works so well early. Plus his thing is so high, so he will just get a kill with that and then gain a bunch of armor. And for only 9 mana, it's a decent exchange. Dwarven Miner, arguably the worst troop in the entire game. Greedy, Stone Link, Impervious. The only good thing about it is that it does have Impervious, so that's one redeeming quality. As far as its ability, it doesn't do anything for you winning-wise. All it does is destroy a gem. Anything that you can do with one single gem destroy, you can just do with a standard swipe. So board control-wise, that's completely useless. And then it gains 15 gold, a 25% chance to gain 100 gold. This would be good, but the problem is the gold in this game caps per match at fairly low in the, I believe it's still 110 or 105 or something like that, plus whatever bonuses. So you're really not going to be able to utilize this gold gain that he gets. And other than that, he's just completely useless in every possible way. Emperina, a really good buffer, gives an ally a bunch of life and attack and then cleanses them, as well as the most important part is a full heal. The only troop in the game that can full heal another troop. So using it on something that has a high base HP or something that can boost HP like Lady or an Aerial or something like that works pretty well with. Gorgotha, one of the best troops in the game, especially have it fully traded. Really good at mana generation. The two things that normally counter it hard is anything that can stun, because it can take out that granite skin, as well as anything with mana burn, particularly Queen Mab, because it just generates a bunch of mana and then it can just be swiped out. Same as Famine is pretty good against a Gorgotha for the same reason. But the granite skin is a 75% chance to reduce skull damage. It is by far the best skull counter in the game, aside from just entangling them. But of course, if they have Impervious or a lot of cleanse, you can't exactly go for the entangle, and Gorgotha is normally the alternative that most people use. Lord Ironbeard, we already went through. Rock Troll was the free troop that we got not too long ago, like about a month or so ago. He just doubles the amount of purple gems on the board. Would work pretty good with Appo, since she doesn't use it doesn't have any mana conflict between them. Rockworm, of course, probably one of the best commons, if not the best common in the game. Deals damage to the last enemy, which is particularly good earlier in the game, since most people have weaker troops back there. And then creates 7 brown gems, which allows it to essentially keep looping with itself over and over again until you win the match. And it has both 2 things that benefit based on how many brown troops are on your team. So normally you would use like 3 to 4 brown troops whenever using a Rockworm. If it's 3, you'd normally just place it with a brown spawner. And Runesmith is fairly weak. It just gives an ally attack and armor boosted by the amount of reds. It's a very low ratio. Traits also aren't that good, other than Firelink. But for the most part, you wouldn't really need them. Dwarves in general are fairly weak in this game. The 2 new dwarves are good, but every other dwarf in existence in this game isn't that high. For some reason, the Steep Borer is considered a dwarf, though, so there are a couple combinations that exist with them. And we're just going to be doing one team real quick over into PvP using both of the new ones. The main thing I like it for is as a Emperor Corvash counter, since Lord Ironbeard has that double against monsters, and of course Emperor Corvash is indeed a monster. So even though he has Stone Skin, will still be doing full damage as if he doesn't have Stone Skin. What other benefit is with leadership, Emperor Corvash actually ends up ticking right over, assuming you have equal stats, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, if you have it lowered, always do it. But he would have 1 higher attack, allowing us to keep doing our triple damage to him if we needed it as well. And of course, Mana Core is pretty popular. The Great Maul is pretty popular, a lot of things. So we just have Bone Dragon for the spam, and of course Appo for feeding the Bone Dragon, and a Valkyrie, because why would you not use Valkyrie? And we have our banner set to red purple, the red so we can get Valkyrie up, the purple so we don't take browns, and we can kind of get Bone Dragon up if there's not any good moves on the board. There we go, a lot of greens right there, very nice. Don't think we have a brown location for convert though. I don't see any extra turns. Might just have to take the skulls. Like you can see here, we just did the full 25 damage because we are doing twice as much, even though it has stone skin on. And he only does half to us. Okay, let's convert out these purples. Get the extra turn, and now we can just start tearing through them. And there it goes, very easy, even with the stone skin, because we're doing twice as much damage. We'll just take this, we'll take his skull next turn, we'll use Valkyrie, and that's pretty much already matched. It did freeze us, but luckily, in every single freeze... Oh, never mind. I was about to say, none of the freezes, it froze blue, but then it froze the one all the way up there. Oh, well. Not too big a deal. We'll get 2 cast up with this. He can't drain both of them. And there we go. Unfortunately, none of them actually have a higher attack. The Manicore would, if we waited. And I think I might just wait so we can get a one-shot off on it. So let's cleanse all this off. Like you can see, we're all frozen here. So let's just take that off. Not frozen anymore. And we can just go for something like brown here. Don't oh, almost forgot about that. There we go. We have like everything up. Let's just take a skull and let him do his drain. Oh really? You're not gonna let me... Gosh, board. I'm trying not to win to show this, and it just keep making me win. There. No, don't give it skulls. I wanted to cast. Just cast your drain so we can kill you with the one shot. Yeah, earlier on in the game, Iron Longbeard, or Lord Longbeard, I mean. What's his name again? Yeah, Lord Ironbeard. I'll name him like everything except what he isn't. Is much better earlier on in the game than later in the game, because you'll generally have lower stats. So right here, he has higher attack. We should be able to get triple damage on him now. And there we go, one shot. The full 60 damage is exactly enough too, which is why I wanted to wait for it. So now we'll just finish it off. We are frozen on blues, but not too big a deal. We have our ability up. It'll die in... Actually, oh no. We were frozen on reds too. I thought we were going to get that. But it's over. Just kill it with this. Doesn't even matter for triples. 20 is enough damage to kill it. And that is the match. Definitely a very good troop. The other one is, of all of the spawners, the converters, I'll be doing a video on it more later this week. But of the converters, I feel like she's a little bit lacking behind. The cleanse all can be good. I do find, though, compared to the web spinner, it does lack a little bit. Like, if we go over to Khaziel here real quick, go over to transform a selected mana color. Transform a selected... wait, that's not right. Okay, selected mana. Why is it? Oh, duh. Because I have Khaziel enabled. No wonder. Transform a selected. There we go. And this will bring up all 6 of them, plus Keeper of Souls. Keeper of Souls doesn't come up for some reason, though. But Keeper of Souls does it with skulls. As far as Appo against Giant Spider, I feel like Giant Spider is better by a lot. Mostly because it has that summon, and purple tends to be used on stronger things than that of brown. Plus, it even has the magic link to it, whereas Appo has basically no good traits at all. Like, none of these are really going to help win the game, all of them in general are not really going to do much. But compared to something like the Giant Spider, you're going to be having magic link. You have big. If you wanted to, you could even get that venom for poisoning them whenever you do skull damage. Normally, Giant Spider won't be doing skull damage, though. That will be for the Spider spawn, which will have poison on it, and you can just use its ability and get it done with that. But still, I feel like summoning a whole level 20 is a bit better than a full cleanse, but it does have its uses. You saw right there where we're using it against frozen. We can use it against any status effect, so it'll be helpful in that. But yeah, these are all the 6. It'll definitely become interesting combinations that you can do within them in the future. Currently, there's only like a few select builds, but as more and more troops come into the game, these 6 right here will be used quite a bit more often. Of course, Valkyrie's already way overused because she's has the souls, but these other ones have their purposes too. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will do it for this video. Stumbling over words, repeating stuff. Yeah, I haven't been feeling that well lately. If you've been wondering why I haven't been like posting as much, I've been on meds lately for a breast infection, so I've been just feeling loopy and stuff since then from the meds. It'll be over in about a week, and I need some minor surgery for it, but it's no big deal. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. There, I did it correctly this time.